Welcome to the Infinite Star Connection podcast with your host, Jeff Demers, and myself, Viviane Chauvet. We are very happy to be here with you. Thank you for taking the time to be with us as always. And today, it's going to be another cosmic, beautiful, warm, and authentic journey with the one and only HaRuKo, also known as Blue Star Child. But before we dive into her incredible journey, and I know you will want to hear this, because what HaRuKo has to offer, and there is no others. And I personally, with my husband Peter, had recently had the pleasure and the great privilege of having a private tour of her unique gallery arts in Manchester, which we'll talk about. But before that, allow me to introduce HaRuKo. She's absolutely incredible. HaRuKo Blue Star Child is also a multidimensional artist, a musician, an author. She was born in Japan, and my heart really already vibrates because I particularly really resonate with Japan a lot. Following her heart's calling, HaRuKo Blue Star Child embarked on a transformative journey, leaving her native Japan for America in 1987. It was in 1999 that she began to receive and express the gift from Source through her unique drawings, a testament to her unwavering dedication to her craft. HaRuKo Blue Star Child's artistic journey is driven by profound mission to deliver love and inspiration from the heart of our Creator Source through her heart. This deep joy has led her to channel multidimensional light codes, the divine feminine sacred geometries, and blueprints of the new earth in her freehand large scale drawing, inspiring others with her unique vision. Her drawings transmit the energy of the various dimensional worlds, such as the Ascended Masters, Elohim and the Seraphim, the archangels and angels, fairies, elementals, ET beings, ancient civilizations, and numerous star systems. They are truly like a living cosmic encyclopedia and activate our remembrance and light codes within ourselves. Now, recently, she started to share the light codes through her voice and flute. She is now she's now as her own Blue Star Child gallery in Manchester, California, and it's really a place you need to be. It is a multidimensional portal, a sacred temple where people can be activated, aligned, inspired, and felt home at a deep soul level. HaRuKo offers a sound transmission session, soul essence portraits for individuals, and private soul guidance session. All of her links are right now in the description of today's episode, whether she has a YouTube, a music place, and of course, her website, bluestarchildgallery.com. All the links are available right now in the description of today's episode. A warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Oh, thank you so much. I am so blessed to be here with you and Jeff.
Well, we are equally blessed, and I want to acknowledge also everyone who's joining us today for this remarkable journey. Can you imagine, everyone? This is an invitation I have for you. Imagine for a moment looking at a large scale, and I would say even wall size. Imagine a wall size of a magnitude of sacred light codes, divine arts depicted right in front of you. the complexity behind it is mind blowing, and you're allowing yourself to emerge in it. And I know what I speak of. I was there most recently, and I experienced multitude of cosmic awakening memories. I could read the encyclopedia or the cosmic universal history or what was conveyed in front of me, and I am still, I must say, HaRuKo, I am still integrating. And in fact, I purchased some of your hearts that I'm going to bring and put in my healing room as a constant source of inspiration activation. Now, I know you are originally from Japan and you grew up in Japan, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Let's begin there because I have a profound love and heart connection for Japan, and I want to honor your roots. So I can only imagine growing into a Japanese culture, being in that energy, and then going to America. Can you share about this to see how it was for you growing up in Japan with a traditional way, and then going to America and starting your journey after that?
Yes. Um, I always remember the light within me and needs to shine and kept on shining, no matter what. And I was born in Tokyo, Japan. That's very dense place. And grew up in a family. My parents are very conservative, very square. And then I went to Catholic school on top of it. And so it was very challenging in a way, but I feel like my essence is such a rebel that harder it is, I can retain my light in a way. And it was very difficult, but also I chose that density and challenging situation to find my true direction that I really, really deeply desire in my heart. So in junior high, I happened to watch the the Western cowboy movies, and I saw these Native Americans scene, in the scene, and I said to myself, I was nailed to the screen, and I'm gonna go there. I have to go there. And that was it. That was my determination. That was in junior high. So in order to manifest that, I had to flunk the test to go to enter the university in Japan. Because once you follow whole system, then you get trapped. So somehow I managed to not to study or fake to flunk the test. And also fortunately, I had a backup. My grandmother, she she had such a dream, but she couldn't live her dream because of her choice of life and also the time of life that that she went through, the war time and getting family and raising. And but she had such a big mind and big dream that she gave all of it to me to go explore and follow my heart. Yeah, I still can cry with this. I love her. And
Oh,
she's still my grandmother, grandmother and great guardian angel.
mm,
And just followed my heart, kept on going. And being born in Japan, it's a sacred land, very, very licensed with so many power spots. And but I was not very much in tap into that when I was young. But inheritance of Japanese race, the benefit of that was probably the craftsmanship and dedication to uh, what we say we'll do this, and we really dedicated to complete and in a pristine way. And so that is within me, and that's why I can do this crazy kind of artwork all through hands.
phenomenal.
And I just love that. So, having the Japanese heritage, I think that was very good thing to have it. And I'm sure there's more depth of it because there are, special heritage that Japanese have in the galactic sense. And but I don't really know so much about that. So, mm,
Thank you, HaRuKo. And just to see just the image, the glimpse you gave us, because I know you're behind just one of your art piece, and to look how depth and how tall it is, I can already. Yeah, thank you. Let's go back a little bit to it. Oh my goodness. Well, I can tell you, I see a being right into it right now, a majestic being of cosmic proportion. I mean, let's take a moment here just by this sublime piece of art. Jeff, what is your impression of what we just saw?
Well, I'd like to know a couple things. First, how do you get your impression to do these? Is it, does it come to you? Do you meditate to get it, or what is your inspiration for that?
so when I started to draw, I didn't know that I was tapping into different world and dimensions. I was just doodling.
Hmm.
So my way is the playfulness and curiosity and being like a child and being empty. That is the process. And people ask me, how do you do this? And well, just doodle. Just be like a child. Be curious. Just move your hands. And that's my advice. But it didn't start all of the sudden. I started to draw in 1999 when I was in art graduate school. And in fact, I started as a photographer, but I failed in a way. They kind of expelled me from the department because I was very strange. I was doing some very strange things. Luckily, that art school had a department called New Genre. So that's the department that many of the strange, outlaw outfit, how do you say, the arts students went to that department. And that's that place, that time encouraged me to really discover freely what's inside of me. So I kept on drawing. I can show you a little bit of the beginning because this is the way that I tapped in, and everybody has their own unique pathway. My pathway was through the rabbit, which is sounds very funny, in a way. But when I was drawing, all I started to draw was rabbit, like a rabbit beings. And so this is some.
Oh, oh, yes. A cosmic rabbit.
Mm-hmm. So it was just so much fun. And also, I was in search for something deeper in my life that time. Because, you go to school, you work, do all the regular things, but something was not feeding me. And this drawing started to feed my heart, and curiosity. And also, I could feel something was getting activated, but I didn't know that I was activating myself by drawing them and starting to remember my cosmic heritage, angelic heritage, and ascended master heritage. All of that are within us. And so,
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I can feel that. And they speaks very everyone, every piece is very uniquely designed and how they speaks. I mean, I can say like I'm getting already a ton of messages. This is amazing. Please continue.
sure. So the rabbit started to shape shift a lot. So they turn into like angelic beings or ascended master looking beings or like a fairy like or turn into different animals. And so I just kept having fun. So this is another one, very angelic one, but it still has some leftover ears, you know?
Oh, yes, yes, I see that. Amazing,
This
amazing.
one has a little more angelic frequency.
Yes, I can feel it.
Is that all done by freehand?
Yes, so they're all freehand.
What about the big one behind you?
Freehand.
Get out.
Yeah, so that's the benefit about being Japanese, I think. It just, you just get into it.
Well,
And
now most people they have an easel, but something like that, what you have to do it on the floor, right?
yes, but this one particularly, I did it on the wall because back then I didn't have a big floor space. I had a tiny, tiny apartment in San Francisco. And so you know, I had a little wall place and I was drawing on the wall.
I mean, because I was looking at your artwork and I'm thinking, well, she has to do half of it and then somehow push it over to do the other half because there's no way you can do both and have it all symmetrically perfect.
Well, it's a years of practice. Some of them are not quite symmetrical. If you see the back, this swirl is not symmetrical. So within the symmetry, I still keep the space where it can be a little bit off. Also, I use freehand because the energy is always shifting, moving. So I experimented it. I used the straight edge for the lines and then stand in front of it, and I don't feel so much. But when I erase all of that and use the freehand, which is, if you really look at it, it's not perfectly straight. And when I stand in front of the drawing, I can feel the energy. So I really feel that our body is the divine tool, divine technology. And I feel like I remember the future or some other lifetime that, we depend too much on the technology and we got separated from it. So this lifetime, I feel like I'm dedicating myself to use my divine technology as much as I can and draw and then play the music or sing.
Well, those are really incredible. It blows me away.
And Ariko, that says a lot about my co-host chef to be blown away. So
Yeah,
yes.
I can pretty much reason stuff out, but when I get to something like this, I'm like, something's going on here, man. That is not, not academic. She's got to be doing something, and something's going through her to create these incredible images.
Yes. And so, also there's a way that I can measure the center, which I use the ruler, and also these are traceable, so I can have a little point of reference, but I don't trace perfectly to the side to side. I always like to open organic, uh, you know, imperfection in a way. And and the thing is that I didn't study sacred geometry. I didn't even know the words when I was drawing this kind of thing. And people ask me to, read a book sometimes, and like Flower of Life book, which is, I'm sure it's very beautiful. But on the first or second page, I fall asleep. So I realized that I don't need outside information, and I'm trying as pure as possible. Keeping my information that comes through as pure as possible, not being affected by outside source, and keep that flow. And that has been my dedication as well. So
And what a dedication. And I want to honor one of the questions we got in the chat room for you. And it's so much well entwined with what you do. Shirley is asking, how long does it take to create your heart?
create my art. So these large ones, it depends on the time of my life. Sometimes I had a different work, you know, So, but usually these large one takes about 3 weeks to a month. Uh, in, but also I accumulate the sketches, just like what I showed you. And so the process of combining all the sketches and sketching out to this large paper and, complete the sketches with a pencil and then go over the pen and then color it. That takes about 3 to a month. Not that I draw every day, but sometimes there's the day that I don't want to draw. So, but I like to kind of finish it within that period so I can really focus energetically to complete.
Are these sketches intended to be two-dimensional, or can they be interpreted as three-dimensional?
It can be three-dimensional. Right now, I am only doing 2D, two-dimensional, but I'm sure if you maybe transfer to the computer, maybe they can move it around or make it more, 3D.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
possible.
That is a really good point. So I believe that we have a video we can show. I think it would be a good time now. Jeff, if you would please. So everyone, we have a video to show you, provided also by HaRuKo Blue Star Child, naturally. So let's just see and immerse ourselves in this beautiful video. I'm kind of excited to watch. So Jeff is taking care of this. And thank you for sending it to us. It is such a joy to have you today. It's just we were very much looking forward for our time together. All right, here we go. There you go. Let's take a deep breath, everyone. Let's just take a moment just to immerse ourselves in the energy, the frequency that you have just received by this incredible video. Just take a moment just to feel. Stand in gratitude with an open heart, opening your own creative center within your heart and allowing this most incredible experience to speak to you in many ways. Mm. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
And I apologize about the sound. I guess it couldn't come through sometimes. So
If I may say so, the sound was like just a little cherry on top. The icing in the cake was the magnificence of the frequency of the art piece. I personally forgot more about the music. It was just more like a distant blink in the background. I was so immersed. And allow me to read a few comments for you, just to show how your video convey everything it needed, even beyond. And wow, powerful, haunting, sacred geometry. I'm feeling the frequency. It is like the activation of the pineal gland. It's magnificent. Beings with within beings. I feel the galaxy in your art. I like the language drawings, just beautiful, magnificent talents. So much gratitude. Impressive. So beautiful, peaceful, and loving. Thank you so much for sharing. And Jamie says, Vivian's rules. You're so funny. Thank you, dear. But the response immediately, I can tell you personally, and I want to ask my co-host Jeff, HaRuKo, when we saw just a glimpse of this most sacred art and what it conveys, some of them were talking to me. I saw a translucent being. I saw an angelic corp, an association of angelic being. I saw a multitude of things. I can feel within myself all my chakra, all my being. I can feel movement in my solar plexus. The music was just a little bonus on top of it, even though we honor the music, of course.
oh, sweet of you.
Just so you know, just so you know, and amazing. And I am particularly personally moved that you added a picture of Peter and with me, with you, Peter, of us, with together. I mean, just that
Well,
was a beautiful touch.
well, it was a very memorable day for me as well. And when we were in my room, I call it my spaceship living room, and looking at the universe together, and I could feel your Arcturian presence as well. And we were just in the spaceship together, looking out the window beyond time and space. And when you explain or talk about or point out things, then that became more alive, and I could feel what you're saying. And so I really enjoyed the journey together that day. And so I was just so blessed to have you. And actually I was, my little child aspect was like, yeah, I want
Yay.
to play with you more, kind of the day. And it was such a beautiful day. So I am so grateful that you came to my gallery.
Oh, thank you so much again, HaRuKo. And just so everybody knows, and Jeff, my friend, when we were in July of 2024, we were in Manchester for two conferences, and HaRuKo was presenting at one of the conferences. She personally inviting Peter and I for a private tour, not only of our gallery art, but also the sacred temple behind. And there's a way to enter the temple. It is by invitation. You have to be done in a certain state of mind and a frequency and entering with an open consciousness. And what took place while we were there, it's an aspect of what HaRuKo is explaining is right away a lot of ancient memories were coming back to the surface. And thank you for allowing me to share what I was seeing through your arts, because I could look through the different those mural. It's wall size, wall size piece of complete beauty and cosmic transcendence. And I could read some aspect of it and how it would speak to me. And this is why it brought another experience for all of us there. May I add another layer to that, Haruko? Okay,
Please.
thank you. We must talk about the other factor to your hearts, that there's some light integrate in it, and then when you put some black light or you turn off the regular light, the art comes to life. Can you talk about this, please?
Yes. Um, well, back then, I was dancer. So when I went to club, there's a black light, and it was inspiring because I know I was also organizer of some, dancing scene, and I was decorating ambient room where people can relax and enjoy. And so I knew how the black light effect does for the art. And so I wanted to explore that. So when I draw in the daylight and then I turn on the black light, and I started to feel different dimensions adding to it. So according to that feeling, I started to color in that way. And so people ask me, do I see the vision? And no, I draw the feeling.
Hmm.
So I really pay attention to my feeling and interpret into color and lines. So when I turn on
Hear
the
you,
light, the different,
Haruko.
sorry,
The
yes.
sound is out. We're not able to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Please check the to make sure.
Can you
We
hear me?
want to hear every word that you have to say.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? No?
Still nothing for now. Up.
Can
What
you
about
hear me now?
now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's good. Yep, perfect.
Yes.
So I go without the mic. Let's see. How far did you see? Did you hear? So when I turn on the black light, I can feel the
Yes.
different senses comes up, and so I feel like I'm feeling a different dimension or another layer of dimension. So according to that feeling, I add some colors or lines, and so it's very interesting to be able to share the different layers of dimension, even though it's 2D, two dimension. So yes, did I explain that? Okay.
Beautifully, beautifully, and thank you for this. I want to honor that part of your art too, because since I had a joy and the privilege of experiencing it myself, I can tell you that when you turn off, what regular light, and you turn on the black light, and then that part of the art that comes to life. So, for example, the piece that you have behind you, there's a kind of a yellow, color.
Mhm.
And imagine everyone with a black light when all these pieces are alight, highlighted, it brings the piece to a whole different level, and it reveal even more depth and synchronicity and even more about it. So it is mind blowing how do you know how to put everything together, and then with the light effect, the light codes. What do Are you aware what source of inspiration flows through you?
So I'm not 100% aware because all the details kind of blocks me when I want to know the information. But I can feel in a vast way, like there's certain energetic signatures that I'm starting to feel. So like if I feel like Mother Mary, then I can feel her signature. So as Yeshua, and so as Arcturian, Syrian, Andromedan, but not quite like 100% I can accurately explain. But within that vastness of feeling, I do as much as I can to translate that into the line and color. So, did I explain that?
Yeah.
so, so most of the time, sometimes It's not just one thing. Because when I even want to draw Syrian, for example, but also the angelic frequency joins, master, frequency joins. So it's never just one for me. It's always some kind of mixture that comes together. And also when I feel like, doing some large artwork like this, uh, different beings join, like Archangel, like Metatron definitely join. He's like overseeing, but then other beings join in order to complete the large drawings. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very palpable the way it is translated in your heart. Jeff, any feedback, comments about the video we just saw, the energy, the frequency, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, it actually reminds me of those 1960s posters, album posters, covers. You know, when you would buy them and you would put on a black light, and then you would just listen to the album, and the whole album would just pop at different dimensions and stuff, and it would almost look like a 3D effect.
Yes, that's true. It will have a 3D effect, absolutely. And that's a beauty, but you got to experience it. So let's bring it back to your gallery heart because we were there. So for people who want to go to Mount Shasta and come see you, so I think that's the first portion of the gallery art, and then there's the back, the sacred temple, where you can experience more of that 3D effect and others. Can you walk us through the process? People wants to come and be visit your gallery art in Mount Shasta.
sure. So the front room is a gallery. I mean, the store. It has a posters and things like that that people can purchase. But also, I offer the sound transmission in the space. It's the largest room, and also it has more playfulness and elementals and let's see, and gentle rabbits. So it's a good introduction space for people to enter, and also they can chat with me, ask me questions, and so I can talk with them, or they can just go about with their own flow. But in the beginning space, I tend to be chatting more with those people and explaining about my process or what it is about or how long I have been in Mount Shasta and how long I have been drawing. And so it's a good introduction place. And if people feel something drawing, uh, then they can choose to go to the back rooms, and it's a donation base. And some people are just filled with just first room, and they're okay. They don't feel like they want to go deeper. But some people really feel it. I really want to go to the back room. Then I suggest that at least to have 10-15 minutes at least to be really be able to explain experience. And in the sacred temple room, I suggest them to spend maybe 5 to 10, 15. It's a little too long sometimes. It's a very, very high frequency place. And so just to be aware, like how much you can take it, how are you feeling, don't go too much like I can do this, with ego. Then you just create this distortion in a way. I mean, not distortion, but it just creates some unbalance. So just to know your capacity in a way, like how much you want to be, and be curious, be playful, and also knowing that it's a sacred temple where you can feel the home frequency. And I have noticed that my art specifically speak to star seeds. I guess that's what we call it. The ones who chose to come to the earth in this time of transformation, and they tend to observe and feel the activation so much in the space where I offer.
I can tell you that there's a multi-layered of experiences there, and personally, the the sacredness of going into the temple and really immersing yourself deeper in the experience is really a must because it is truly phenomenal, and I am thrilled beyond words that I got to experience it. Very, very grateful about that. So it's a moment I cherished and I still feel in my body. Um, Haruko, I know you play flute, and you play absolutely delightful music. And before we went live to our episode, we were talking about potentially maybe playing something. Would you still like to play something for us?
Yes, I just hope that the sound translate well since I took away my mic, and we can try. And
Yeah,
sound doesn't come through.
It'll be fine. It'll be
Yeah,
magic, touch, magic.
fine. It'll be fine.
then yeah, I'll stop playing. So.
Thank you.
Well, for this one, I since I'm here in Mount Shasta, so I'd like to bring through a Lemurian frequency.
I love it. Mm.
Excellent. I like that. Very good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the beauty of the music really transported all of us. I can feel the mountain of Mount Shasta, the energy, and of course, to me personally, the amplification through your sacred heart. So it was amazing. And I can see in the chat room, absolutely amazing from Megan. Ellie said it was so sweet. Thank you, beautiful from Myra. Joyful heart to music, Ellie is saying to you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for peace and harmony, and the beauty that you convey. So, how did you learn to play so well the flute?
Well, you have to like it.
Good point.
So my life represents, you know, drawing and musics. I always loved it when I was little. But many of us, when we really loved something when we were little, but sometimes we get discouraged by parents or school system. But to make that child aspect alive again, and it's never too late for everyone because that's the essence of the creation. Like when I tap into the source, the creator, the essence I feel is very pure, innocent, childlike, curious, you know, uh, frequency that I feel, and from that, he or she or whatever it is, it creates. And we all have that within us, the divine child, I call it. And divine child has such a power. It's different from inner child that we talk about. The divine child is within us. We feel like we lost it sometimes, but always within us. And never fall into the victimhood. Never feel disconnection or never got disconnected from the source. And to activate that is to be like a child and remember what you really love to do when you were little. And so, fortunately, I could reactivate that again. When I was over 30, that's when I started to draw and started to play music later on again because I loved playing recorder. Those plastic flutes, and I just loved it when I was little. And it's the continuation of that. And I'm sure there's a past life, experience as well, as a Native American, uh, and,
Mhm.
person who play the flute. So as soon as I hold on in my hand, I could remember. I just played. But since I loved it so much that you play again and again, and more you play, more you do things, you get better, right?
Yes.
But I never thought about playing in front of people. My
Uh-huh.
way was to just connect with the nature. So when I was out in the nature, I played flute, and I could feel the merge with the trees and the birds and
Mm.
canyons and all that around us. And I could remember the wholeness with the connection with the earth, and the remembrance of when I was Native American. That's how we used to live in the oneness with the nature.
Yes.
And then drawing is another layer that I can feel the oneness with whole universes and galaxies and all the beings out there and within us. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered her question specifically, but yes, just if you love it, keep playing, and it doesn't matter if the sound doesn't sound like anything. It's frequency, you don't need to make the song, but when you play even just the one tone and just allow to feel you and allow to flow your frequency, even just one tone, actually we heal ourselves too because you hear your own frequency, you
Mhm.
know and so it's almost like for me music and art is a self-healing,
Mhm.
self-activation and self-remembrance. And in some way we can all do that. I sometimes say, if you can't fall in sleep, record your own lullaby with your own song, with your own singing, as if you're singing to your dear child, and record it and then listen, and you will be to fall in sleep because that's your love frequency that comes out of you. So yeah, so we are really we have so much potential, so much gift within us, and we can activate within us.
Hey, Vivian, I have a question for you.
Sure.
We know about automatic writing. Would this be considered automatic drawing?
Um, so I don't know the term about automatic. Is that like
Well, you get it, and then from the source you get it, and you start writing stuff, and they call that automatic writing.
I,
But
I
yours is a little bit more controlled.
hmm. Well, I feel that is the beginning of like allowing the doorway of the flow of your frequency. So, um, just go for it, so that flow is like you're not really concerning about perfection.
Right.
So then that's really good, to allow the doorway to open. And then more and more you do that, you will find your own, probably your own unique expression. That could be the drawing, or that could be the letter, the writing, that could be the light language, that could be the color.
I think a lot of people are going to do that now. After seeing this here, they're going to immerse themselves into that feeling and just let it, flow out, but in a controlled manner, so it doesn't look like helter skelter is all over the place.
Yes.
It's got
Yeah.
to mean something.
Yeah. Yes. You can put the clay. You can play with the play-dohs. You can do anything that we each of us have something within us, and that happens. People when people see my art and hear the music, next day they are doing something different.
Do do you also call your drawings names? Do you call them something? Do you
The drawings.
give them names or something?
Well, I call it cosmic doodling.
Yeah, but each one's got to be different because it means something. So
Yes, of course, it has a title that I put the title. But also it can be more than that. So the title is sort of like the invitation, but also this is multidimensional art.
mhm.
Next day you come and you see different things, and then next week you come and you feel different sensation within our body. And as much as we are the energetic beings, these are sort of like alive beings that I drew, and there's this communication constantly happening. And I think we are really tapping into being the creator, that what we create, it's alive, even the food, even the drawing, even your art, and dance, we emit the frequency, and that travels throughout the universes infinitely. It just doesn't end right here, And so we are really starting to remember the vastness of who we are. We're not just singing in this moment, but this frequency, that frequency we share at this moment, now three of us and all of us together, and that continues on and ripple out forever beyond time and space. And because we are the seed of creator. So it's very exciting.
It is very exciting, and I couldn't agree more with you. I love the way you are bringing this expansion even through tone, your own voice, your own lullaby, the flute, the music. And I really resonate deeply with what you just said, Haruko. So thank you so much for that. There's a question for you from Myra, and I want to give you some background about this beautiful question. So many members of my online Universal Arcturian community are watching this episode today on with you. And so we had a recent when we were after Shasta, after I saw you, we were in Sedona to host our annual retreat with the members. And one of our members, Van, who is also Asian like you, there's a different part of Asia, graced us with a beautiful piece that he played for us. And it was a really beautiful traditional Japanese flute, I believe I remember correctly. And it was a very unique one. It has 7 O's in it, very uncommon. So I want to give you some background. So we had this gift from Van, and we honor that. So Myra is asking you, Haruko, based on this delightful piece you play for us, is the flute that you play for us so beautifully, the Japanese flute, um, is it also a traditional one, or is it a unique instrument that you picked, or what can you tell us about your flute?
Oh, so my flute that I play is not Japanese.
Okay.
The Japanese flute is called shakuhachi,
Mm.
and it's made of bamboo, and it takes so much practice to master.
Oh,
From the humbleness from Japanese, they said it takes 8 years to master the flute.
whoa.
And mine is not. Mine is it's like a Native American flute, but the specific flute that I played was in a major tone. So the Native American, if I go into the technical aspect, Native American flute is a pentatonic scale, which is not like Western do re mi fa sol la si do. It's different. And the one that I played is a Western style, major scale. So it's not very difficult to play. The Native American flute is usually very forgiving. It's easy to make a sound. Japanese one, it takes a long time to really practice and make the right sound. So, mhm.
That is most fascinating. Thank you for explaining. I love the correlation between the Native American flute compared to Japanese and a different tone and sound and the complexity behind it. That was amazing. I love it. Well, there's another comment for you, and I like to read it because it's directly related to one of your pieces in your gallery art, actually. So April says, the day I walked into your gallery and I saw this particular piece entitled Unification of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, right in Manchester, it really captured me. It was a piece to define my experience there. So it's wonderful to see that one of our listener is really referring to one of your unique piece right in your gallery art.
Wonderful. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for the comment.
Yeah. Thank you, April, for mentioning that and also for sharing with us because this is really amazing. Now, part of your work, if I remember correctly in your bio, you also offer soul portrait. Is that still correct?
Yes, I have been doing it for about 15 years and it never gets old. Um, I started doing that when I was running out of the idea of birthday gift for my friends. And so I decided to draw one of my friend. And as I draw, I could start feel the vastness of that person. And so it's just amazing to feel everyone is so vast and so unique and so beautiful. So even you think you're just a mother. No, you're not just a mother. In another level of your bigger aspect might be birthing the star, and I can feel that vastness of those, our essence and uh, the true gift that we are in a unique way. And so it's like a small. Let's see. I have a little example here. I think it's like this card size, and I always put like a very peaceful smiley face in the center, although our spirit doesn't have a face, but I'd like to personify a little bit. And everybody is so uniquely different, and it's a precious way to look at yourself in a different perspective.
Mm. I like that, to looking at yourself in a different perspective. So is that the only size, like a car size, or do you offer maybe
I
bigger ones
offer a
too?
larger size as well, like 8 by 10, which should be like 20 by uh, 30, 20 by 25 centimeter, something like that. Uh, but it's rare to do so because it takes a little longer time. But
Of
yes, I do
course.
offer a larger size. Mhm.
Amazing, amazing. I want to ask about this because I know that probably many people will be curious. And again, everyone, all the links are in the today episode description. You can easily connect with Haruko, her work, the website, also on Facebook and the music. And absolutely. And so for people who may be traveling or visiting Mount Shasta, what is the best way to come to your gallery? Do you have to make an appointment or do they just come during the time that you're open?
Yes, my business hour is very short. I know my face is frozen. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. You just your image. You look beautiful. It's frozen. Yes.
Yes. So, well, usually Sundays and Wednesdays are closed, my day offs. And my business hours are from 1 to 5 for other days. And but if you are really, looking forward to and can't make it to time, you're welcome to message me, and I can make a special time for you.
Okay. Okay, perfect. That's good to know. Shirley has a question for you, HaRuKo. Do these soul drawings activate us?
Well, yes, I feel that way because I bring. Uh, let's see, it's it's your frequencies that I feel, and um, it, it's sort of like activate in a deep level of your soul, like deeper, deep inside of your heart. But also by seeing that visually, it helps to link up the remembrance. But also, I would say, it's not like something you need to have to access.
And it's a reset, everyone. Stay with us. We're keeping an eye. I knew that I was coming. I call it those technological or energetic reset. You had a few reset today yourself, Jeff. So,
Yeah, but I got some stuff going on here that it's probably causing all that.
oh, okay. Well, we are well known to generate a lot of energies, and it's not surprising whatsoever, whether it's sound, video, phrasing, or anything like that. I know that Haruko will come back. I'm keeping an eye, we're both keeping an eye on the back end of our studio. The moment she comes back, we will let her in. We promise that. So in the meantime, stay in that beautiful energy with Haruko Blue Star Child. And again, we were there in person, and to look at the screen for what we just saw, a few of her arts, truly remarkable. When you see it in person, it really takes you on a journey. And I know that many of you have been, and many of you will be going. But when you're in Manchester, her store is right in on the main street, and you just connect with her and ask. And if the store is closed, sometimes she does also organize or offer private tours. So please reach out to HaRuKo Blue Star. I think her website is bluestarchild.com. Again, all the links to reach out to her are clearly listed in today's episode. And we're keeping an eye on her. I know she'll be back, so stay with us. It really, really, really be perfect, perfectly in alignment with what she's coming back and releasing the energy. So we are incredibly, incredibly grateful for her. And what was your take on all of what you've seen so far, Jeff? What does maybe your Ponte have to say about that energy?
They don't. They're out. They're here, but they're just like leaning back, relaxing. Um, it's that audio, that tone. I wish I had my phone here because I like to measure the frequency of that flute to see where that's resonating at, and find out the frequency and see where it's close to. But
Ah,
it would be cool to see her do like a crop circle or something.
yeah. So do you think that your Ponte are kind of influencing your equipment right now?
No, I just I'm running a couple programs in the background, and it's kind of using up most of the memory.
Ah, okay. It's more of a practical way.
Yeah.
Practical way. Okay. And meanwhile, we are still keeping an eye on Haruko. I know she'll be back. We're not going to leave it that way, so no worries about that. In the meantime, thank you for, staying with us and being able to, holding the sacred space and still bathing in the energy. I mean, Haruko played flute for us, the music that she played, and then we saw many pieces of what she wrote and she made. And when you see them, I mean, some of them like really the size of an entire wall. It is And to your point, when you said earlier, Jeff, sometimes it's looking at the asymmetrical energy. Everything is interconnected. Everything speak of an energy, whether it's the light language, whether it's presence of cosmic beings, angelic beings, galactic history, whether it's universes, how they connect. There was one piece in particular that I could read, Galactic Archives. It really triggered the Galactic Archives on what you would see the Akashic field. And I can see how the solar system that we are currently in and then interconnecting with other solar system and star, and it was phenomenal. I mean, we spent there, I don't know, at least minimum 2 hours, if not plus. And when we enter, for me personally, was this, what she called the sacred temple. And then you walked in, and of course, shoes off. It's Japanese tradition. I do the same thing at home. No shoes. When you enter the sacred temple, no shoes. You enter the temple, and then you immerse yourself. And then she turn off the light and turn on the black light, and everything became third dimensional, very multidimensional, like you talked about, Jeff.
Mhm.
And it really is. And it completely transformed the experience of what her heart really conveys. So things that you may not completely see or you may just brush over come to surface when the black light is on, and then all this bright yellow light everywhere. It really is phenomenal. So it's like a portal heart, Megan. It's a really good way to say it. Um, so, and I want to say hello to Enja from Germany. Yes, I will. I will connect with you for your conference next year in Germany. I'm excited going to Germany next year, July 2025, for a beautiful conference there. So I want to say hello to you. I will definitely connect with you. Yes, yes, yes. With much, much love. But it's just, I'm still bathing in that energy of all of these beautiful frequency. And she talks about also in her bio all the light codes and the different sources that comes through her. And you can tell that distinctively if it's more of universal or transcending beyond space and time, or a dynamic of different star system collaborating, or if it's a star race. There's one in particular, it's a nocturian being, or a more of a energetic depiction of a nocturian being. And I stayed right in front of it. I stood right in front of this image, and I stared right, almost like in the third eye of the depiction of that nocturian energy being. And I just stood there and I allow myself to emerge. And what I saw particularly, Jeff, is I saw the reflection of my own nocturne self coming and reflecting onto me. And I was able to share some aspect of that particular piece to HaRuKo in a way that she couldn't see. And she go, huh, thank you for sharing with me. And speaking of which, here she comes. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. The computer
So
all of a
you
sudden.
get a pretty good idea.
Oh, it's the frequency. No worry. It happened to us all the time. We generate so much energy and frequency together that it's no surprise that the third dimensional base technology cannot keep up with us. So
Yeah, it
normal.
got frozen and black and never happened to me before on this computer. So
Welcome to our world.
No. I got an interesting question for you. Your artwork, okay, and it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong; it's wonderful. But does it start out with a collection of symbols clunked together, or is it just your bam? Here's your image that you want to do.
So when I start small. So I have this about 11 by 14 size sketchbook.
Mhm.
And I just start with one line, of course, and line. And it, I never know what's going to come out really. And sometimes I can feel, but sometimes I draw by not knowing and just allow uh, the
Allow
build.
it to go through and boom.
Well, and it's very slow process. It's not very, very fast, like probably automatic writing. My way, which, everybody's unique, my way was very slow, and just one line at a time. And then once I finish one line, I can feel the next line. And then so I follow the next line, and then I can feel more. So it's sort of like a slow process, but very mindful in a way, that each line I can feel it, and then next line or next shape I can feel it. So yes, it's the mindful step-by-step process and gets into there. But once I finish that 11 by 14 sketches, and when I feel I like to draw larger ones, then I kind of flip through the pages of my sketches, and I can feel which one wants to come together. It's like a recipe, when you're cooking, and you can feel, well, this one and this one wants to come together. And more you practice, you can kind of feel which spice you want to combine. And so it's kind of like that. And then the dish comes out amazing. Mhm.
Yes. And it's really well said. So I'm hearing also the sacred practice, the movement of patience. There's nothing to rush, there's nothing to expedite. So I can feel for you, almost like, could it be accurate to say that you become an extension of that inspiration or the light codes or the transmission that comes through you? You become an extension and you translate it of the next line or the design or how the direction that particular piece you're working on takes shape and form.
Yes. And also, the most important thing is that not to try to do anything, because I was not even, or even now, I don't try to bring the light codes, and I just allow the empty space to and then flow. So many people ask me, how can I draw the light codes? And I don't start there. I just start from just doodling, and the good example is like when you're talking to someone, and if you're getting bored with the conversation and you start doodling, so the mind is somewhere, but then you're flowing something. That is the state that I create, you know and don't try to do things. And also many people ask me, do you do plant medicine? And like, no, I don't like to be affected by any of the substance. And then also people say, I see this vision when I did the ayahuasca, and I want to bring that vision. And well, the plant medicine take you to from here to there, but then you have to fulfill this step in the middle, and that's your job. You can't really, for me, that's my perspective, that once you open up your, like, the vision with that, outside substance, and how can you bring that in and ground it into the in your beings, that takes time. So it takes practice and patience, and just allow to be trusting that things will come out of you, and just play. It could be just like a stick person, but then from there you might continue to something else. So instead of judging what comes out, just keep on doing. It's like
Mm.
life, right? And then that shape turn into something else in your own unique way. I hope that helped.
Have
Oh,
you have you ever made a mistake and had to go back and fix it?
Yes, I do. I do. Especially these large ones. On the sketchbook, well, but I actually do, because when I feel the line is a little bit off, of
Mhm.
course you can use eraser to erase. If you put too much salt in a dish, you have to add some more water, kind of things. hmm
very well said. What were you saying, my friend?
No, go ahead. No, I'm actually reading the chat right now.
I was just going to acknowledge what you just mentioned about the process. And this is a very important also even reminder and wisdom of a reminder is allowing the doing, allowing releasing the mind want to do and expedite and rush and judge, and we get all caught up in these entanglements. And so I can feel even when the way you speak about how you allowing the process to take place, the joy that you feel, you connecting with the purity within yourself, you welcome that design to come and become one with you, and you allowing the design to reveal itself as opposed to dictating the design how it should be because your mind is telling you so. I love that distinction there.
Yes. And
Yes.
that's the key. I mean, we're a natural channel, right? And you channel words, you channel your frequency in any unique way. So yeah, it's the matter of freeing a mind and allow to be. And by being, you naturally want to do something, and then allow that genuine desire, whatever that is, even to go take a walk or call your friends, and we naturally are flowing with the universal energy.
Ah, there. You are naturally flowing with universal energy. That's right there. And you are inspiring other artists in the chat room, like Christina, who really relates to your methodology, who also paint beautiful art. So you can tell you will become a source of inspiration. Now, I am curious about something with the complexity and the grace and the magnificence of your piece. From you personally, what have you learned from these magnificent art piece? Like the one you have behind you, for example.
Mhm.
What was it? What has been the teachings for you?
Yes, I can share uh, some artwork. I can share with us with a small poster in a way because
Oh yes.
they're all of them. But every artwork that I create has teachings. And for me, from this one, it's called Stargate of Golden Age. It's a large piece like this one, and you can see this pyramid in a way. And so for me, the drawing told me this: every step is like your every experience in human form or non-form, or every lifetime, and we gain wisdom from that. Everything that we experience, we choose to experience, because within everything there's wisdom, there's a purpose, and there's a divinity in it, no matter what ugliest or, all the experience that we don't want to have. But then within that, there always a gem. So once you realize that, you create the foundation for your sacred temple. And then once you really start to realize everything is so divine, and you realize that you have all the gem within that you gain from every experience, and then once you realize that, then your heart gate opens, and then really connect to the source light that is right here.
Hmm.
And so everybody is the stargate in a way. And around this is the stargate that I drew, and there are so many, you can't really see, but there are so many galactic, like wise beings holding the gateway in a way.
Whoa.
So it represents, us right now on the earth in a way to do this, to be the stargate, uh, and realizing the connection to the divinity from within, by realizing that everything we choose to experience are gifting us. It's the gem to become more and to open our unconditional heart and create together the golden age that we promised to create. So it's a huge story and lesson, teachings.
Oh, I'm speechless. I don't know about you feel, Jeff, but I that really speaks volume, and you're right about it. That's incredible. Thank you for walking us through that one journey of one piece. And that's why it's so significant, so meaningful. Wow. Feel free to share more if you want to. The floor is yours.
So up to 2018, I was feeling, after finishing 2018, I felt that, okay, New Earth blueprint has been drawn. It's done. So the final New Earth blueprint that I uh, did was called Atlantis Rising.
Ooh.
And we looked at this together in the sacred temple.
Yeah.
And it's a combination of the information I received from Egypt and also from Ururu, where you're going.
Yes.
And I received the confirmation from you, or actually mutual confirmation, I guess, because I didn't know why I was combining the information from Egypt and Ururu, but I was, feeling strongly to call, to do that. And this is the final one that I really wanted to draw. I could feel in my heart that I was kind of holding back, or I was told to wait, but I don't know why. And this is Atlantis Rising. I could draw this one after I finish all the Divine Feminine blueprints, because that needs to be the sort of like the foundation in a way for this one to happen in a way. I wonder if that I explained well, but yeah.
Oh, yes, we can see. Oh, beautiful. I can feel the expansion of Atlantis rising. And I remember seeing the piece in your gallery and to see that beautiful artwork unfolding in front of me and to feel the energy of Atlantis rising. Yes.
Yes.
Ah,
Maybe say one more because this is
yeah.
beautiful. Peace on earth.
Oh,
So this specific one, I asked, how does the peace on earth look like or feel like? That was the genuine curiosity, and then I allowed to draw, and these are large ones, so it's hard to see. But on the top, there's a divine feminine presence, and then on the bottom is the divine masculine presence. So how the earth has been so far was like this, the masculine over controlling, overpowering, limiting the divine feminine. But instead, it's this way. In that way, the life flows and create beautifully. And this used to be the sword, the fighting sword, and that turned into the lotus flowers.
mm.
And this is the foundation of the galactic beings holding the space for us to go through this whole process and create the peace on earth. So, yes, and I, of course, don't know anything about this, and sounds like I'm a wise one speaking, but no, I have learned. I learned from the drawings, As I draw, I can feel the teachings, and then I have to bring that understanding in my human life because I have so many issues and things that I, needed to clear. So together drawing this whole thing, for 25 years, I'm still learning and, I'm still gaining more new wisdom. So,
Okay, supposing that you got two people that come in your store, okay, and one guy says, "Hey, I want that Atlantean thing," and then another guy says, "No, I want that thing," because you do just one and done, right? You don't do the ones that are the same. You don't copy them.
so I don't sell the original ones so far. They're holding the space, and what they can purchase is the posters. And yes, that's right now how it goes. And I am sure in the future this drawing would be placed somewhere, which I don't know yet. So right now it is for everyone for to experience. Hmm.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes, yes, and I did get 2 copies. I want to mention quickly, as you were experiencing about peace on earth, I look at my garden and I saw a white dove landing in my
Oh,
garden.
beautiful.
Yeah, she's still there. It's like
Oh.
He's hungry.
I yes, because they know, birds know that in our backyard it is a peaceful sanctuary where they are safe and they can come and take a bath and have some food, and they know that they're welcome. In fact, this morning I had another dove who was simply getting a sun bath in the grass, laying down, spreading her wings like this, and just stretching and holding the space, and then come back and stretching the other wings and holding back. And I've just marveled. I'm watching this beautiful being, and I was telling this being, you know that you can stay as long as you need. You are welcome here, and it's a safe sanctuary. And as you are showing this incredible artwork of peace on earth, talking about the lotus flower, the divine feminine, reconnecting with the divine masculine, and how the divine masculine is shifting its role, and everything that you share to see the synchronicity of that white dove. I mean, symbology, I mean, animal totem speaking, honoring, nature and elementals. It is this potent. It's happening live, everyone. It's right there at the same time. I'm pointing this way because the window to my yard is this way. So I'm looking and I'm just smiling and at the synchronicity. And I think it's also supporting your artwork and the representation of peace on earth, Haruko. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. And this conversation, even when you are here as well, and also with Jeff, I can feel this, working together in the oneness, when I'm with you, and Jeff, I can remember, or I can, how do you say, feel the other aspect of me, in a different alien body in a way. And but we have such a dedication of working in this oneness so naturally, and with you, being here in this conversation, in this platform, I can feel it, and it's so refreshing, and it's so encouraging, and so I'm just so grateful for all this opportunity, and coming together.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing this. I felt it, and it's true. And we have been creating this unity. And it's one thing about Jeff and I that we're in agreement as hosts of this very unique podcast is when we invite someone in our sacred space, plus in the presence of all our star nations, the elders, the galactic being, universal presence, we thrive at creating a more unified experience when we come together. And depending on who we speak with, but today, with you particularly, Haruko, it is so easy and very flowing to maintain that unity of service and with each other. So I love the way you mentioned it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your sacred space.
Well, you are most welcome here. And of course, we are extremely grateful for your time on a Sunday, early afternoon, because, Manchester, you're in Pacific time right now. So, it was morning and then early afternoon. So we're very grateful that you spend this time with us.
Thank
And
you so much. And Mount Shasta had snow in August, and we had never, I mean, not never, I was told that it didn't snow that much in the mountain for 20 years. And I can share, I don't know if I can, how white it is right now.
oh my goodness.
This was,
Oh my goodness.
mm-hmm.
And that's why, everyone, I love the Phoenix Valley, Arizona, because there is no snow. I love the desert. That's a lot of snow, Ellie. Yes, I agree. It's a little too much for my taste. I'm not a snow person. I know, Jeff, you have a different view on the snow.
Polar opposite.
That's why Haruko and everyone, this is why our Infinite Star Connection podcast, we're already in our fifth season because the opposition of Jeff and I, and yet the unity that we create, the synergy, is very unique. You won't find that anywhere else.
Yes, I enjoy watching your podcast.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And it was time for us to be together, and this journey has been absolutely exquisite with the video, the flute, the music, walking through your own personal journey to honor you as well, plus the three pieces or the three artwork that you just show us with Peace on Earth and Rising of Atlantis really speaks to all of us. So thank you again, HaRuKo Blue Star Child. Thank you for your dedication to your work.
Much. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Jeff. I
Thank
enjoyed so much and I felt so much honor being in your sacred space. And I hope there's more time to play again.
Most definitely, most definitely. And in the meantime, everyone, we will be back on Sunday, September 15. And why there's a little bit of a break, it's because simply the I am going to be traveling. I'm going to be speaking at a conference at sea. And by speaking at a conference at sea, then I'm going to be, busy at a conference. And this is why we're going to be in Alaska doing a lot of work on Portal and other places. So this is why we going to come back on Sunday, September 15. And so be here. I think my co-host has some intergalactic interference. Maybe her East Ponty group is having fun with them. So I'm not able to see him. Okay, let me see here. I think he's coming back now. Anyway, we'll see you on the 15th of September. We'll have a Q&A. We'll talk about Alaska, the portal, the Aboriginal tribe. It's going to be wonderful. So we'll see you, everyone, very soon. Haruko, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you,
Namaste.
everyone.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone. Stay